Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to American Courts Live. I'm trying to play around on a few different channels here, seeing what we can do. We're broadcasting on 3 different channels right now. Hey Jay, how are you? Erica Lanto, Drunken Beaver sent me. Tell Drunken Beaver thank you, and we love him, and we appreciate him sending us over. We need to get Drunken Beaver on the show. I wonder if he'd come on with me. And so we've got Linus is moderating. She's gonna be the super duper moderator. So y'all make sure to be nice and no cussing and stuff. And we have a celebrity in the room. We've got Kathy from Court Vibes. How about that? Hey Kathy, how are you doing tonight? I guess you had that slow night for you Thursday. You promised us a slow night and you got it. Did you get your big group in there? Let us know. And so Sean Kraft, this fella right here, he come in at 7:30. He came in early. He wanted to say hi to everything. All right, well, we're going to get started. Hot damn, Erica, I got your name right. We're going to call that a win for the night. I've said Linus's name wrong about 30 times today, so it's about time I got one of them right. We got legal fiction in the room. That way we got somebody doing some good jokes. I can't hold that one up. Legal's got to take that one from me. Emily smiles. Hi, Emily. And yes, they are here. So Kathy is getting paid tonight. That's all we can ask for. All right, we're going to jump on. We got a Norbeck one, Magistrate Norbeck up in Michigan, and then we've got some Judge Simpson, and then we've got one from Judge Webster in Texas from back in January. So let's see what we can do with Norbeck.
Mr. Timmerman, these are a series of ordinance violations. A piece of property attributed to you. These are, but on these zoning ordinances, the township is not necessarily just sort of saying, hey, we ticketed you for this and we want to get fines and costs. What they're looking to get is what's called a compliance order. In other words, rather than just sort of punishing you for the violation, they'd rather just have the violation be dealt with. And so this is a choice that you have. You can always say, hey, I don't think I should have got cited for these violations. I do want to have a hearing. Or you're saying, did you get a chance? Did you get a copy of the proposed compliance judgment?
I don't believe so. No, I just got my notice to appear.
That's from the court.
Citation.
And the ticket. Okay.
Yeah, it was sent out last week, I think last Tuesday. So you should have received a copy.
Don't look. Well, probably.
It just says real big on it, judgment, municipal civil infraction.
Yeah, probably went to the wrong. It has 19th Street Shelbyville when this is Otsego.
It went to 956 19th Street, Otsego, Michigan 949078 because the court got their copy and we received it before.
Yeah, I
today.
just emailed it to you last night, sir.
Okay, that's not my personal mailing address, so I never received it.
You got this.
I got this. If you.
That's the citation that we're dealing with. And then on that citation, we have essentially a couple different options. One is the property owner could say, hey, I don't think there's anything wrong here. I want to have a hearing in front of the judicial officer. That's me. Or two, you and the township can go into an agreement essentially like a little contract where they would spell out, hey, we want you to do X, Y, and Z within a certain amount of days. And if you get that done, then we won't proceed anymore on the violation. In other words, their options are always, they can just start asking for fines and costs because you're in violation, or they can ask and tell you, spell out what it is they'd like to see different at the property so that you're not in violation. And essentially what this is to cease, eliminate all residential occupation at that particular address. So you're either saying, no, we're still gonna live there, and then that's a hearing in front of me. Or you're saying, okay, we'll vacate that property as far as someone living there within the 10 days. And then essentially the court would let you and the township have your contract. But I don't necessarily want you to agree to something you're not looking at. That's why we always want you to, and me and Lori to all be looking at the same piece of paper when we come to an agreement.
Okay, first of all, nobody's living there. It is uninhabited at the moment, and it's basically storage, and we're working on fixing up the place. Currently, we've been doing a lot of work around the land. We've had, a couple years ago, a couple ponds dug back, and we're getting a road out back there that's nice and is gonna last on agricultural part of it. We've let's say,
well, let me just see then, maybe we don't have an issue. Maybe I'll just read this out to you. No later than 10 days after I sign this order, you, meaning the defendant, will cease and eliminate all residential occupation of any dwelling, recreational vehicle, or other permanent or temporary structure at that property, 956 19th Street. So you're saying you're already in compliance with that?
I mean, we out there to store
And
If-
camp.
so, but nobody's living in the house.
No, we're camping.
Okay, did you hear what I said? Dwelling, recreational vehicle, other permanent or temporary structure, that can mean a tent.
Okay,
What the township's saying is no one can be sleeping there at night. That is not habitable property.
okay.
Are you in compliance with that already? Is that what you're telling me? Or are you telling me there is an issue that we need to get to the bottom of?
That are working on. Nobody's,
I mean, my dad has been out there fixing up his RV, his camper. Nobody's been living in it.
Okay, then I'm just gonna sign this order. And this order is gonna go into effect on this particular case. Because it doesn't sound like there's an issue, because you're telling me no one's living there in any way, shape, or form. That's what the township is asking for.
Correct.
All right. Was there someone living there?
Nobody's lived there. That since my dad owned it and then gave it, nobody's lived in it. It's been a process of fixing it up. I know my dad's been putting money into it, waiting on his house to sell so he can put more money into it. Get the trailer livable. Because as of right now, I mean, there's cabinets in the kitchen, the bathroom. Last time I went into the house and went into the bathroom to relieve myself, I turned around and walked away because I wasn't gonna use it. So there's too much work to be done to that place to have somebody live in it.
Okay. Then it doesn't seem like there is a discrepancy between what the township is trying to enforce and what you, the property owner, are telling me is the situation out there.
Yeah, I got some photos here of what they took, and There's literally nothing. All it is the camper trailer that my dad has been fixing up. And I mean,
Okay.
there's,
I'm not concerned about someone fixing up a camper trailer. I'm concerned about someone staying in a camper trailer.
nobody's living there.
Nobody's staying there. I just don't want us to get into, we have different definitions of different words.
Yeah.
Nobody sleeps in there at night. That's a question I'm asking.
No,
Okay, then I'm just gonna go ahead and sign this order, even though you haven't seen it. Now that I've signed it, the court's gonna send this to 49078, so that you know that the court is saying also, okay, we're all on the same page, no one's living there. If someone were to be living there, then they would be in violation of that court order. You understand that? I
yes,
see you
sir.
not in your head, but we're recording, so we need to have you acknowledge that. All right, then I think we're all set for what we needed to do here on this particular order. Ms. Costello, do you agree?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor. I would appreciate having a mailing address for Mr. Timmerman if he is not residing at that home, so I can make sure he is getting his mail.
Do you have an address you get mail at? You want to go ahead and put it on record so we make sure they're able to communicate with you?
Yes, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Two Otsego, Michigan.
Was that
Four-
two?
6, ma'am.
206? Thank you. Your
Correct.
audio is cutting out.
All right, Mr. Timmerman, I'm going to go ahead and release you. We're going to move forward here. Thank you. There's someone on the phone here.
Court calls case People versus is it Darshan Dia.
All right, Victoria, you go and have a great dinner. You need to be at work early in the morning anyways. Thank you, everybody, for coming out again. A lot of different names in there. I see Kay, Donald Westerdale showed up for us. Thank you so much. Hey, Melissa, Roll on G. Nice to have you join the club. Going through, I'm bad at names, so if I miss your name, I do appreciate you coming out. Of course, we got legal here. It's the entertainment for the night. And Drunk Beaver, thanks for reaching out to me. I will get up on Discord and we'll discuss something. We'll get something going. These two Judge Simpson ones were from today. You got the Michael Mansour there. They normally don't like each other, and so I'm hoping to share some fireworks between them two. It's fun to watch the judge give him hell. All right, we'll start it back.
Okay. It's been a long day. I looked down and I said, that's a lot of letters. No, it's okay. It's
All right, Matthew Mansour, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Ms. Mitchell Bailey.
really, you're gonna do that? Ma'am, what is your name?
Desharnais.
Desharnais. That's exactly how it's, as long as you put the syllables in the right place, that's what it says. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, there is a police report. I don't know if you have it in your file. I have an extra copy. If not, we can review.
I haven't.
Okay. If you'd like me to address that at any moment.
You mean the bond violation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, we are strongly denying the charges here. These allegations don't seem to be very concrete. I know Ms. Mitchell Bailey reached out to me this past Friday before these allegations stemmed. And, you know, after we introduced ourselves to each other, she basically asked me what would be the best way to go about her no contact order, no go-to order while her case was pending. I know this, according to the police report, there is a victim, a complaining witness here, that Miss Mitchell Bailey and the victim they share property together. They were sharing rent together. I believe they were on the same phone plans together. So she basically asked me, you know, how can I go about taking care of all this without breaking any bond conditions? So that shows me that she's very serious about these matters. She works full-time. Her mother's here today. And Your Honor,
How long are you gonna go on about this? Do you want a hearing?
Your Honor, yeah, I would like to request a hearing if
Okay,
possible.
we'll have a hearing. I mean, it's impossible for me I read this report on Monday, I think it was. I did not issue an immediate warrant because I did not think that there was enough there for me to do so. And I figured that you might want a hearing. But if
Yeah.
you want to keep going on and talking, that's fine.
I wasn't aware, Your Honor. I was just trying to,
I know you're never aware that I actually do work when I'm not.
well, thanks, I guess.
Wow. Wow. Did he really say that? He did.
I'm sorry. But yes, Your Honor, if we could do that. And in regards to the date and time set for the PCC, we would like to set,
Miss Mitchell Bailey,
Yes, sir.
why are you standing at attention?
yeah, you can loosen up a little.
Just relax. Relax. Okay, that's better. You're like stressing me out. Yeah, I know. She was like, they're like a little soldier. I'm like, and I saw it at the very beginning and I said, oh, she won't be able to hold that for very long. And then Mansour kept talking. I said, she gonna hold it. I gotta stop this. Okay. So she wants a hearing.
Yes, please.
All right. If I set it for, well, the only time that I'm gonna be able to set it, I have the 13th, I could set it. If it'd be in the afternoon.
Okay, Your Honor.
That work? Okay. So I'll set a bond violation hearing for August 13th, 2024. Now that's a weird docket, which.
The prelims are right.
So I'll set this. We don't know how many I have right now, do we?
7.
7. All right, I'm gonna set it with the prelims, I think, would probably be my best bet. So that will be I'll set it at 2 p.m. We'll do it that way. And then what did you wish me to do with the probable cause conference?
Oh, Your Honor, if we could set it for an exam, I believe discovery is complete. I think we're just waiting on one 911.
You're gonna go ahead. So discovery is not complete, or what's the deal?
Your Honor, I think we're just waiting on a 911 call. I'm pretty sure it would be in by then, unless Ms. Barroso says otherwise.
It has.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I'll indicate discovery is complete. We'll get that. So what I'll do, I'm going to change the time on the bond violation hearing. So if you're going to have it set for preliminary examination, I'll set it for preliminary examination, August 13th, 2024 at, it does it right now.
Hey, it looks like we got raided by Biggins, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, Biggins crew. I hope y'all had a good show over there. I appreciate y'all coming over. We've got another Judge Simpson, and then we've got Judge Webster from Texas. He's gonna enlighten us. This was a hearing from back in January, but the two kids, it's a custody battle and it's a fun one. It's only about 15 minutes. So we've got some good short little videos for you. All right, we're gonna get back to it.
12 p.m. I'll have the bond hearing basically at the same time, bond violation hearing. So that way you don't have to come back twice. All right. All right. Bond will continue.
All right, thanks, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you for relaxing.
You're welcome, Madam.
It's scaring me. Sorry about, are you, your mom? You did that to her? Oh, yeah, okay, all right. It's a beautiful name. You're welcome. Court does call the case of the people versus Marcus Moore Jones.
Andrew Childers, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon.
You're still here.
I am. This is
Okay.
the last time the whole
This
summer.
is it?
Mhm.
Oh, kind of sad. Anyway, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alex Parks on behalf of Mr. Moore Jones.
Marcus Moore Jones. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we spoke with the prosecution this morning about a potential plea deal. We are asking for an adjournment in this matter to discuss the offer further and to give our client time to collect the restitution.
Okay, so part of the plea is arrested. So timing wise, how much time do you have a number? And then how much time is it going to take him to try to?
We do have a number, a few weeks, Your Honor.
A few weeks. It's your last time. You're gonna make this difficult on me, aren't you? How much, young man, you seen the number that they have?
Yeah,
Okay, how much time is it gonna take you to try to come up with that?
maybe 2 weeks, maybe.
About 2 weeks you gonna be able? Okay, I don't know what the number is, but that's fine. All right, let me do this.
It's not that bad, but it's 700.
It's 700? It's gonna take you 2 weeks to come up with that?
I mean, I work, but I got priority. I mean, I know this part of my priorities. But
No, okay, no, stop talking because you're gonna get yourself in trouble. No, you saved that one.
No,
I
I
got
got I'm not doing one payment. I don't want to do that. That's all.
You what now?
Big payment. I don't want to do that. I
Do-
can't do that.
Can't do what?
700 at once. That's what I was saying.
He'll have it in a couple weeks.
Right, that's all I'm trying to figure out is how long it's gonna take you to do that without messing your whole self up. I'm just trying to set a date that you can try to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you're saying a couple weeks that you think you can do that.
I work
Okay.
every day. Yeah, I said.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, you also got bills.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to give you enough time so you can do it
When you had
without.
asked me, I said 2 weeks though.
So let's do September 5th is great, Your Honor. Mhm.
You know what? I'll just make it next week and then you don't have it, right?
Your
I
Honor.
mean, I'm just trying to give you time, young man.
It is what it is.
Mhm. Can-
Oh, no, he ain't gonna say it is what it is to me. He can sit down and you can check him and then have him brought back up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you keep shaking your head and then I'll show you what I'll do. Now for something totally different. Court recalls the case, people versus Marcus Moore Jones.
Andrew Childers, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alex Parks on behalf of Mr. Moore Jones.
Marcus Moore Jones.
We're requesting a 1-month adjournment in this matter.
How much?
1 month.
That'd be enough time for you to get it all together and get. Young man, do you understand what I was trying to do? I was trying to make it easier on you.
I apologize. It was a misunderstanding.
Right, and I just say this. The problem is that you come in, I'm just trying to make it easy on you so you're not stretching it.
Right.
And your attitude almost got you into a whole lot of trouble that wouldn't have even been worth it. Understand me? So just listen to folks. Probable cause conference, September 5th, 2024. 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond will continue. Is he paying, you don't need an order for him to be able to pay that to the court, do you, or how were you guys gonna do that?
I believe Mr. Moore Jones had made a comment that he didn't want to just do it all in one lump sum.
Right,
So if he wishes to make payments, we can an order can be made so that that can happen. I don't have an issue with that. Right? Don't, if we submit an order to the court allowing payments to be made on the restitution.
Yes, if you submit an order that we then hold it for payment, we'd hold it as what technically a bond, but to be paid out for restitution. That way, as he gets paid through this period, or as he has the money, he can pay it here so that he doesn't have to come up with it all at once and try to hold it or do whatever.
Okay.
Okay, okay, you want to do it that way? Okay, so when you come up, the only thing, so you guys have prepared the order, I'll sign off on that. The only thing you have to remember, Mr. Moore Jones, is when you come up to make a payment, because it's going into effectively our trust fund to hold, it needs to be paid in cash.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, so that way then, when you come up, you can just, you got 200 here, whatever, you can just pay it.
I'm gonna do 3 next month, 300, take half of it.
300 when?
September that day, September 4th.
So
So hold it. What are you guys trying to do? Are you trying to pay out the whole
on
700 or
September
just a
5th.
bigger or
I'm
just
at
a?
5th, that was
on September 5th, my
Okay.
client can pay the $700 in restitution
Whoa,
or $675.
Right, whatever the amount is. I'm just trying to make it easier on him so that, because he said he didn't want to come up with it all at once.
Yes, and we were discussing a 2-week. We went back, we talked about it. We think September 5th.
No, and that's fine with me. I'm just saying if, and maybe I misunderstood. Was he trying to pay it all at one time? Like he just needed more time, but he was gonna pay it all at one time? Or was he gonna try to pay it like he'll get his paycheck and then he was like, well, let me do this so I don't spend it?
Right.
Is that what he wanted to do? I just don't know.
see, when we went back, we were speaking on just paying that 700.
Just in one lump
But
on
when I came
September
up, he
5th.
had said the payments. That's why I said I can pay 3 that September 5th. That's what I was meaning to say, but.
So,
Okay, let's do this. Let's do the order,
okay,
okay? And then as he has it, he can come put it, if he has it before then,
before.
he can come put it in there so that it's just there.
All
All right.
Can I just come to that office? Okay.
Come to the window up front, make sure that you have something with your case number on it. So that they'll give that to you,
All right.
so that then they'll see it in the file once we get that order in place and then you can just pay on it. All right?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, and next time, just check the attitude, man,
All right.
okay? Cause he hasn't done much today and he almost had to take you. All right, take care. Court does call the case of the people versus Lewis.
Hey, everybody, wanted to make sure to tell everybody that at 9 o'clock, the Jen Hardy Show has an awesome interview with Judge Boyd. Jen Hardy's going to be live at 9 o'clock. And so whenever this is over, if I can figure it out, I'm going to send everybody over that way. I'm going to send everybody to support our buddy Jen. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for Biggins Raid again. I've seen some new numbers tonight. I'm quite proud of it. So I appreciate everybody doing that. This one's a good one from Judge Simpson today. I got an update for it at the end of it. It'll be worth it.
Bamba.
Good morning, Your Honor. Drew Waters, student attorney representing Mr. Kambamba, requesting permission to practice pursuant to MCR 8.120 under the supervision of Assistant Public Defender Kenneth Overwater.
Have you been before me?
This is my first time here.
Is it? Where are you from?
I'm from Oxford, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Michigander?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where'd you go to undergrad?
University of Michigan,
Sorry.
Michigan,
And law school?
Wayne State.
Good school. All right. I guess I'll let you practice. Next time, don't read that thing. You should know it. But go ahead.
Your Honor.
What are we doing?
Your Honor, we're currently working towards a resolution in this matter, but at this time, we'd like to set the matter for preliminary examination.
Are you intending on holding?
If we don't reach a resolution.
Well, I mean, that's the problem then. I know this defendant really well. I handled the armed robbery from 2015 where he did hide a prison. And he was on bench warrant status on this case for a couple of years. We're asking for a misdemeanor. I need to contact the victim. if I'm gonna bring the victim to court on a case that happened a couple of years ago, I don't know if that's gonna be as a productive conversation. So.
Alrighty then, what do we want to do?
Your Honor, my client is requesting permission to address the court.
Okay. I don't know what he wants to tell me.
Your
I
Honor, at
could
this
hear
time-
it, you're gonna ask for an adjournment.
That's correct.
All right. How much time did you need?
2 weeks, Your Honor.
That's probably wise. I can give you the 13th or I can give you the 22nd.
The 13th, Your Honor.
13th. Probable cause conference, August 13th, 2024. 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you. Those case people versus Bobby Beach.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Beach, who should be present via Zoom. For the record, Your Honor, I'm surprised he's not here. I've talked to
Me
him.
too.
I have talked to him several times this week, including this morning when I sent him.
Is that
Oh,
him?
there he is. Mr. Beach, could you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Next time, change your name. State your name.
Phones in. Okay, Bobby. Bobby Beach.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client wishes to set this matter for preliminary exam. Discovery is complete to our knowledge.
People have their witnesses available on the 13th.
I don't know if I can have that done by the 13th.
Gotcha. He's out of custody, so preliminary examination in person without objection will be set August 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Valvo. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. You said August 20th?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
There's a bond violation. Well,
Is there?
the report is dated July 31st. This test on the July.
Why'd you miss your test on July 22nd?
What day was June 18th? Because I could have believed I went up there and they said, this is Juneteenth, some type of Black history. They're not even testing the day.
Really? Really? Some kind of?
What do you mean, some kind of? I'm telling you what they told me at the
Some kind of
door.
Black history thing?
I'm out here in the street. I go test every week. I don't miss a beat, and I give y'all $50 a
Okay.
week to test for marijuana that I have a marijuana card for.
Mr. Beach?
Okay.
Mr. Beach?
All right, so I'm going to start again. On July 22nd, I'm now out of June. July 22nd, I have a report that you missed a test.
I have all my receipts. So I don't miss no tests. So a urine test, I don't miss no tests. I go to all my tests. I pay y'all the money. And y'all tested me for marijuana. And I have a card for marijuana. So the taxpayers is paying for me to be tested for marijuana.
Mr. Beach?
Okay, so we can have this in person. Why don't we deal with this in person? We can do it this afternoon. He available?
I do not know, Your Honor. I have not been able to.
Okay,
Your
3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll set it for a bond hearing. Beautiful. Thank you.
All right,
Here,
Mr.
put
Beach,
that
you
on
need-
my 3 o'clock. I'll see you then.
Mr.
Thank
Beach,
you.
Please give me a call.
Yeah,
Be
you
here,
might want to do
okay?
that. Court calls the case. People versus Leon Odom.
I knew I'd be next. First Assistant Public
That
Defender
kind of
Queen
went south fast, didn't it?
with and on behalf of Mr. Odom. Mr. Odom, state your name, please.
Oh, Leon Odom.
Thank you, sir. What are
Your
you
Honor,
doing?
We're requesting a preliminary exam.
Does Mr. Odom think we're wasting the taxpayers' money?
Not at all. You're
Oh, okay,
very.
I'm just checking. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to.
That's the information. So we're just gonna reset the exam.
So discovery is all complete. Is he
Yes.
here?
He doesn't have to be here today. This is probably. Next court date is when he has to be
He
here.
wasn't here last time, they dismissed it.
That's when just let, I got it. Your Honor, we are happily requesting a preliminary exam. We are very appreciative of the court and the taxpayers.
Very good. So all discovery is complete?
It is, Your
All
Honor.
right, people would have their witnesses available on the 13th.
That's right.
Preliminary examination in this matter will be set in person August 13th, 2024. 9 a.m. That is before Judge Washington.
I saw what intent, but
Bond will continue.
All right. That's yours. Just call us.
So they told him to come back at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m., he did not show back up. I think that was the most boring 2 hours of Judge Simpson I've ever watched, from 3 to 5 p.m. waiting for him to show up. But he did not show up, so he'll show up on a warrant or something. He'll show up somehow. So we're going to go over to Texas. Texas got a custody case from January, and just watch the looks on these kids' faces. You know, when the judge asks them questions, you know, you'd almost think they don't even know how to say their names right. So here we're going to go over to Texas.
This court's going to call cause number C-242307. This is in the 317th District Court of Jefferson County, Texas, and it's in the interest of Julian Kenneth Dillon. Mr. Martinez, Miss Dillon, and Miss Boudreaux, please raise your right hands. Miss Boudreaux, you'll need to unmute. Miss Boudreaux, you'll need to unmute. Are you unmuted, Miss Boudreaux?
Yes, sir.
The parties and Miss Boudreaux, do y'all solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do.
Y'all can all put your hands down. All right, Miss Overstreet, this appears to be a petition to establish that you filed back in November.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm looking at my court file, and I do not see that DNA testing has been completed. Mr. Martinez, this is what's called a petition to establish a paternity, old school paternity suit. In a case like this, Mr. Martinez, you're entitled to ask me for DNA testing if you wish to have it. You don't have to take a DNA test if you're absolutely certain that Julian is your son. Then you don't have to take a test. But just,
No.
Hold on. Let me finish my spiel, okay?
Sorry.
Just remember, this is your day to take one. If you have any doubt, I would advise you to take one, because I'm not going to give you one in a couple of years if you have doubts then. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. He's been admonished. Go ahead, Ms. Overstreet. You can call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call Miss Dillon. Can you state your name?
My name is Caitlin Ashley Dillon.
And you are the mother of Julian Kenneth Dillon?
Yes, ma'am.
And now, when this case was originally filed back in November of 2022, what county did you live in?
I lived in Jefferson.
And how long had you lived in Jefferson back then?
A year.
Okay. And then at some point after this was filed, did you move to a different county?
Yes, ma'am. I actually moved about a few weeks later.
Okay. And now what? So you moved a few weeks later after it was filed?
Yes. If it was filed November 2022, I moved at the beginning of December 2022.
Okay. Now, so what county do you live in now?
I live in Hardin County.
Okay. But you're asking the court, since we had jurisdiction when it was filed, to go forward, and you understand that everything from now on will be in Jefferson County.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Now, do you have any safety concerns or issues with your address being in the court order?
I do. I would prefer if it wasn't. If it is, I would prefer that it be made clear that no one is welcome to show up at my residence at any time.
So in the last 2 years, have there been any incidents of family violence or anything specific that you can tell the judge about as to why you don't want your address in the court order?
Yes, ma'am. So Skylar Martinez was living with his parents whenever we established paternity, and he actually got kicked out for being drunk and being violent. And so my concern is, I don't want him showing up over here drunk and acting out.
Okay. Now, when Julian was born, shortly after that, did you and Mr. Martinez go and do your own DNA testing?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, Skylar paid for the paternity test. We had it done in Beaumont at a lab. So
okay, and that DNA test showed that he was the father.
Oh yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that was in what month? When did
that was October of 2021.
Okay, and now are you, I forgot to ask you this. The child does live with you, correct?
Oh yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to find that Mr. Martinez is the legal father of Julian Kenneth Dillon?
What do you mean?
Well, are you asking the court to find that he's the father? Because
yes,
okay.
ma'am.
And are you asking the court to leave the child's last name Dillon or change it to Martinez?
I would prefer it stay Dillon. I don't mind if it's hyphenated.
Okay. So you wouldn't mind if it was Dillon - Martinez?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay. Now, is Mr. Martinez a good father?
No.
Can you tell the court why you think he is not a good father?
Skylar's not a good father because he abandoned all his fatherly responsibilities, including visitation and financial responsibility for Julian, merely because of the fact that I did not want to pursue a romantic relationship with him.
Okay. When was the last time he saw the child?
To my knowledge, the last time he saw Julian was February of 2022, late February.
Okay. Now, since he has not seen the child in a while, the judge is going to do some supervised visitation. Is there a place where you would prefer that supervised visitation
You don't know that, Miss Overstreet.
Well, if the judge does supervised visitation,
Don't do that, Miss Overstreet. Don't presume what my ruling is before all the evidence is heard.
If the judge were to order that, is there a place where you would prefer the supervised visitation be?
Yes, ma'am. I would prefer the supervised visits be at his parents' house, which is 5 minutes from his residence, if that.
Okay. And does the child go to his parents' house kind of on a regular basis?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever I'm working, he stays overnight with his parents, usually about 2 or 3 days at a time.
Okay. And does Mr. Martinez live there?
No, he got kicked out of his parents' house, so he lives a few minutes down the road.
And do you know whether or not whenever the child's there, if Mr. Martinez goes and visits with the child, or do you not know?
He does not go over there. From my understanding, him and his parents do not have a good relationship, and he hasn't been welcome over there.
Then why would they be able to supervise?
Because the reason they don't have a good relationship with him is because he didn't choose to be a father, and they don't support that. So if it was,
you just told me why you think they would. I asked you why you thought his parents would be good people to supervise if Mr. Martinez is not allowed in that residence.
Because he'd be allowed back over there to see Julian.
Okay. So in your opinion, you believe that his parents, Mr. Martinez's parents, would allow the supervision to take place in their household?
Oh yeah, I've talked to them about it.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Overstreet.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, how is Julian covered for insurance?
Through Medicaid.
And do you have any personal knowledge one way or the other what Mr. Martinez, anything about his income?
To my knowledge, he got hired on at HEB Plus in February of last year, and that he still works there.
Okay. Now, do you have any knowledge one way or the other of whether he has any other children under the age of 18?
So from my understanding, after Julian was born, I come to find out that he does have another child out there somewhere that he signed his rights away to.
Okay. Now, so Mr. Martinez has known at least since October of 2021 that the child was his. Now, are you asking for any back child support or just child support going forward?
Back child support for sure.
And since the time that he found out that the child was his, has he helped you financially with the child?
So after he found out that Julian was his, I had recently moved into an apartment and he helped me pay my rent for about 3-4 months. And then after that, he didn't help at all.
And can you give the judge a total amount of how much he gave you?
It was roughly 600 because my rent was 525, and I just asked him to help me pay half, which was I just let it be 200.
Okay. Your Honor, I have nothing further of this witness. I'd like to pass the witness and call Mr. Martinez.
Go ahead.
Mr. Martinez, can excuse me, can you state your name?
Skylar Cole Martinez.
And what county do you live in?
In Hardin County.
Okay. And Ms. Dillon had testified that sometime in October of 2021, after the child was born, y'all had the DNA and that it stated that you were Julian's father. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, when was the last time you recall seeing the child?
Probably like late February, early April of 2022.
Okay. Now, if the judge were to order the supervised visit, any supervised visits for you to get to know the child again, would are you agreeable with that happening at your parents' home?
I think I myself should probably speak to my attorney first before, and maybe, or
Hold on. Mr. Martinez, you do understand that this is a trial in regards to Julian.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes? You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, if you were going to have an attorney, why isn't your attorney here?
Okay. True. I did ask them about that too, but okay. Fair point. Never mind.
Do you have an attorney, Mr. Martinez?
I do.
Have you hired the attorney?
Yes.
You've paid this person money?
Yes, sir.
Who is the attorney?
Here, let me get my documents real quick.
And I apologize, Your Honor. This is the first time I've heard that he had an attorney.
You're good, Miss Overstreet. You're fine. You don't know the name of your attorney, Mr. Martinez?
I don't know, like off the top of my head. I have to read it.
You deal with that many attorneys, Mr. Martinez, that you don't remember which one you hired?
It's really a group. Other assistants. It's called. Where's the name of it?
I'm not worried about the firm, Mr. Martinez. I want to know the actual name of the attorney that you paid money to.
Let's see here. And then it's this one, which is Kim Cantu.
Tim Cantu. And where is
Yeah.
Mr. Cantu located? What city and state?
Oh no, my bad. No, this this is Fast Serve Civil Processing, Lee Processing, Dallas. Yeah, these are all different.
So you're not able to come up with a name, Mr. Martinez, of who you hired?
I guess not at the moment.
Okay.
No, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Overstreet. There's no attorney.
Okay, thank you. I believe my last question was, are you agreeable to doing if there are any supervised visits at your parents' house?
If I'm agreeable with it,
Yes.
I mean, I'm okay with it, but I still didn't really want visitation.
Then don't exercise it.
Yeah, okay. I didn't.
Just because I give you something, Mr. Martinez, doesn't mean you got to use it.
Yeah,
Now,
I didn't understand the premises. I'm sorry.
The question was different. I'll give you that.
are you asking for the child's last name to stay as Dylan, or are you wanted to do Martinez? Are you okay with the hyphenated?
I know she had stated she's okay with it being hyphenated, and like I stated previously earlier, I know other people would want it hyphenated. Me myself personally, I don't want to cause any more problems, so I would prefer if it just stayed the same.
To stay Dylan?
I think she would like that. I think she would like that.
Okay. Now, do you have any other children under the age of 18?
No.
And where are you currently working?
HEV.
And what do you do there?
I'm a perishable goods stocker.
And how much do you make an hour?
$15 an hour.
And how many hours a week do you typically work?
Like 24 to 26.
And do you have health insurance available for the child?
No, ma'am, I don't.
And now, Ms. Dillon had mentioned that you had given her about $600 previously to help with her rent. Do you recall, is that about how much you've helped her financially since you found out the child was yours?
It sounds correct.
Okay. Now, how long have you worked at HEB?
For a little bit over a year now.
And where did you work before that?
At FedEx.
And how long did you work there?
For a little bit, like 5 months, 6 months, something like that.
So starting in about mid 2021.
Yeah.
And how much I'm sorry, say that again.
I started during the summer because it was real hot and stuff. I remember that.
Okay. And do you remember how much you were working there as a driver?
Yeah.
And do you remember how much you made an hour there?
No, I didn't make any hourly wage. I made a weekly salary. I made, I think it was around 480 or 500. It was between that.
Okay. And that was, but before taxes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, I have nothing further. And I have no further witnesses.
All right, hold on one second. Mr. Martinez, you working at HEB?
Yes, sir.
How come you only working 26 hours a week?
Because I'm only part-time.
Why?
Because I guess because our department's so full of employees. I mean, I've been working really hard, working up, trying to get full-time. It just hasn't come my way just yet.
Right. Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Dillon, is there anything else you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Mr. Martinez, is there anything else you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
Court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find that Mr. Skylar Martinez is in fact the biological, and now I'm going to find him to be the legal father of the child Dylan. I'm going to find that it is certainly not in Julian's best interest, not Dylan, I'm sorry, Julian's best interest for the parties to be joint managed conservators. Miss Dillon will be the sole managing conservator of Julian. Mr. Martinez will be a possessory conservator of the child. I'm going to order visitation. The visitation will be a phased-in visitation schedule with 20 visits at each phase. All visits will be, all supervised visits will be in the home of the paternal grandparents. If Mr. Martinez chooses not to have visitation, that's his choice, but I'll give him the right. If he chooses not to use them, that's up to him. I'll order Ms. Dillon to maintain the current health insurance on the child. There will be no domicile restriction in this case, and there will be no non-disclosure. I have no evidence of any family violence between Ms. Dillon and Mr. Martinez, and therefore I cannot grant non-disclosure. Child support in this case is going to be based on the information that Mr. Martinez gave me. Child support will be $295 a month plus $40 a month in cash medical. Those payments will begin June the 1st of 2023. Retroactive child support will be granted for the time period at least since the date that the DNA testing was completed. I'll find that retroactive child support in the amount of $5,600. That'll be paid back at a rate of $50 a month, also beginning June the 1st. Court costs by Mr. Martinez, but I'll give him until November the 30th of 2023 to pay my court costs. Ms. Overstreet, did the state of Texas hear all the terms and conditions of my court order?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Right when you said it's child support, I was coughing. You said 225, right?
295.
Okay, thank you. I was
290.
coughing and I didn't hear. I heard everything else.
Ms. Dillon and Mr. Martinez, what's going to happen now is
Hey, Kathy, I put a live up there just for you, okay? So whenever you get a chance, you just come on over.